Hi, welcome to Learn Your channel. So the continuation of the part 1, part 2. So talking about the visuals. So if you just can simply kept all visuals into your resume, that is not make sense, because if you're keeping all visuals into your resume, make sure that you know all the visuals are played with by you. Suppose taking an example. So if you're working on this line chat or bot chat, so what they'll ask indirectly. So uh, I have a data, so which is having it is like a numeric, suppose sales data and countries data. If I have data sales and countries, so which visual is suitable basically. So if I use sales and country, so sales goes to which axis, and country goes to which axis. So in the same way, they'll definitely ask you a question, so based on the chart. And also I have forecast values. So forecast values are there, forecast values, which visual is suitable for that forecast values. So in that way, they'll definitely ask you. So that's where, if you are whatever the visuals you worked on particular Power BI, you definitely mention those, confidently mention those visuals, and if they ask any questions, they'll ask. And also, so if you are using that visual, any of the visuals, suppose bar chart if you are using, so bar chart, there you have some country name and sales value. So if you use the country name, sales value, suppose taking an example, sales value goes y axis and country name will comes on x axis. So so they'll ask, so I want a tooltip, so or I want to keep changing the visuals whenever the data is changing. These kind of questions will comes into the mind. So in that scenario, once you played with that particular visual, and you practiced or you worked on that, that is very helpful to you to achieve your question, or you confidently clear your that question. So that's where they'll definitely ask you. That's where I recommended to keep all the visuals, whatever you worked on, otherwise don't worry. So you can just open Power BI desktop and take an example of Excel with the dummy data, and then try with all the visuals what are all there in that. Hardly it would be 20, around 20 visuals are there in Power BI desktop. So you can just simply, so that's where you can use these visuals. So apart from these visuals, so there are external visuals also there. So outside, it's a market, you can say simply market. So apart from Power BI providing visuals, so there will be outside visuals are there. You can go there and you can download. And so if anyone asks you, do you ever worked on Power BI outside visuals, that is all custom visuals. So custom visuals, if you are worked on, yeah, you can confidently say that worked on. Otherwise, no, I haven't worked on. So better to know one or two visuals. So then you can search in Google market visuals, and you can able to find, and you can select the free version and download and import basically. If you want, I can show it in the next session how to download this external visuals. So if you can take those and try to, like, waterfall charts and heat map, all these are external visualizations. So if you can keep those are in your handy, that would be very helpful, so that you cannot miss that content or answering your question. So these all are I'm covering some interview prospect questions also here. You just carefully listen and try to practice the same basically. Yeah. So then those are the comes for the particular visuals. So coming to these filters, we'll be having different kind of filters, right? So previously it is the page level filter, report level. So we now the report version has changed. So it is also same moreover. So it is like, filter on all places, filter on this page, like that it will shows in the Power BI. You can also go through all the visuals and all. So I'm mostly talking about the content and the features available in Power BI desktop, so that while recruiter or while the interviewer, so by seeing a resume, they mostly ask from your resume. Simply, if they have a handy with your resume, definitely they'll ask you on resume questions, because on the spot, no one can. I don't think interviewer can prepare and come for the interview. So most of the scenarios, everyone is working on their perspective. So who and their prospect one, they don't have basically the time to prepare basically. So they'll come and they'll seeing your resume, they'll recognize the thoughts. they recognize the content what they are working on. If they are facing any issues, that they'll put into a question to you basically. That's where so no one can come to the interview by preparing. No, who are the persons who prepare for the interview, like if their organization doesn't have any Power BI persons, they want to hire Power BI person knows this Power BI little bit, so doesn't so they'll prepare, they'll take questions and they'll prepare and they'll ask you the questions one by one. So that's where I'm recommending it to keep whatever you know, the concepts and into your particular resume. So by seeing the resume, they'll ask questions. So that's where I'm recommending. So that's where I kept visuals and the filters and all. So and slicers also, slicers and what is drill down, what is drill up and all. And customization of the report, color changing, font changing, what it is, drill through, drill down, and bookmarks and all. So you can, whatever you can simply put. So I talked about this custom visuals, Sankey chart and bullet chart, text filters. All these are available in the marketplace. We can go on. So coming to the DAX expressions. So I just mentioned here aggregated function, mathematical functions. So by seeing this, they'll go to simply ask the aggregated functions first of all, and they want to ask mathematical, they can mathematical functions they'll ask. So if any calculated columns you wrote, and you can if you whatever you worked on, whatever you practiced, you can keep the same in the so DAX perspective. I'm sure that please beware while keeping your content in your resume. So suppose you know sum x, average x, aggregation level, calculate function, related function, relative function, and YTD, MTD, QTD, year to date, month to date, quarter to date, all this are. So if you are talking about all these, so you should work. So if you already worked on those things, you can simply keep your content into your resume. So otherwise you can simply put whatever you know basically. That's what. So don't put you don't know anything, don't kept in your resume. So and then publish reports. Previously it is there in content pack, now it is not there. So be content pack, instead of content pack there is a app is there. So if you know apps, you can keep app. Experience in app creation and managing the app, so providing access to the end users and the app. So this way you can put. And coming to the gateway part, so if you really